So, good morning, everyone. Today, I'm here to deliver on a talk on how to how to be a natural self at the SSB and what is the importance of being your natural self. So, I want to start with how do SSB assessors know whether a candidate is coached or not. So, firstly, for experienced assessors, it will not be difficult to identify candidates who have been coached at the conventional coaching academies from some of their following actions. So, here we have written actions based on different processes that the SSB follow. So, I want to start with the screening test first. So, in the screening test, the very first thing that we come across is the story writing in the picture perception and discussion test. So, firstly, yeah. So talking about the story in PPDT, they are likely those students who are coached. Basically, they are likely to come up with the trending and popular story themes. And these themes include there are different type of common themes that are, basically the assessor straight away knows that the themes are preconceived. So the very first kind is PVC type. So basically, this is a type of picture where the protagonist was depicted as an army person who performed some very brave act and earned a reward as well. So Nehru sir called this the PVC type stories. The second story is the soil card type. The soil card type stories involve the protagonist where the protagonist is a rural person and he has got his soil tested and improved crop production by his actions. So the sir called this the soil card type stories. The next theme is the preconceived theme is Swachh Bharat theme. So these are the stories where protagonist is involved in the cleanliness drive, which was initiated by the same person in his vicinity, in his surroundings. So these themes are known as Swachh Bharat type themes. Yeah. So the next theme is the theme of social issues. Now that COVID is no longer such a big threat to the society, the trend has shifted towards insertion of some social issues in the story. What students always do is they try to put in some social issues and try to solve them so that they want to make good impression in front of the assessors that solving a social issue might help them for their selection. So so the next thing I want to talk about is there is nothing wrong in picking any of the above stated themes. However, this should be done only in case the picture is amenable to doing so. Because oftentimes we see that the picture is not linked to any of the above mentioned themes, but still students go on and write those. So that is an example which we discussed in screening test. The next is the pictures shown in PPDT have remained more or less the same since long. When the assessors note the above stated different themes being chosen, it is an indicator that candidates have come with preconceived stories and are fitting the nearest one to the picture. So this is how the assessors know if the candidate is coached or not. So the next process we come to is discussion in the PPDT part. So the candidates who have been adversely affected by coaching work from a scarcity mindset and act as a dysfunctional team members by preventing others from speaking. They nominate themselves to narrate the group story and then go on to narrate their own story rather than that of the group. So this was all about the screening test, and this is how the assessors uh, make sure the candidate is coached or not. The next test we come to are the psychology tests, and we have different type of.
Ansh, we will just hold on. We will
Yes, sir.
go
Yes, sir.
deliberately forward. So we'll stage by step. Now you have covered. No, keep it there on the screen. You covered
Okay, okay.
about the screening process and the things which, from my experience, I have noticed. So anyone has got any queries or any clarifications wants to add or any such thing so far in the screening part.
Sir, I have a query, sir.
Yeah, Anjum, go ahead.
Sir, as it's been 10 months, I am attending NFA classes and we are practicing PPDT at least twice a week. So it may happen that there can be a picture equivalent or same as what we have practiced. So
Absolutely.
we have done on that picture, and if the same pictures come, we may write a story that we have already written. So will it be considered as a preconceived story?
You see, thing is that it will become a preconceived story, but it is absolutely logical to do so. Because as sensible persons, you made a story which had the approval of the group. You arrived at a consensus story, so it is but natural that story will come in your mind. And writing that story is absolutely fine. There is just no problem. Because invariably you will find that such a story that you will write, Anjum, will not be in accordance with these things. You know, social issue, Swachh Bharat and all that will not be like that.
Copied, sir.
Is that correct or not?
Correct, sir.
हाँ, तो वो तो बड़ा नॉर्मल है, वो दिमाग में वही आएगी बात और उसको ही लिख देना चाहिए आपको बिल्कुल. There is just no problem at all. In
Roger.
fact, any one of you who has practiced some story and it is sensible and that picture comes, writing that story will save on time for you. Time saving हो जाएगी ना फिर.
Yes, sir.
भाई जो काम आप 4 मिनट में करते हैं आप 3 मिनट में कर दोगे. So this is a good question and it is a good idea to do that. Please do not hesitate in writing that story only.
Sir, I have a query as well.
Please go ahead, Ansh.
Sir, so how much to practice as far as stories are concerned? So I have heard people saying that you should be writing 2 to 3 different themes on one picture, and so that the spectrum of your mind is very, so how much to practice basically?
Ansh, I am a promoter of the idea that we should not practice these tests at all. अब
Okay.
पीपीजीटी में आपको डिस्कशन की प्रैक्टिस कराने का स्कोप है और उससे बेनिफिट भी है, इसलिए हम कराते हैं.
Yes,
That is
sir.
the thing. And that much what you have done is more than adequate. उसके अलावा तो कुछ करने का बिल्कुल ही जरूरत नहीं है, करना ही नहीं चाहिए.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Are you getting the logic also to what I am saying?
Yes, sir. But what if we encounter a very different kind of picture and we have no idea at the moment? So how to counter that?
देखिए, the selection system is designed to select people based on their all-round competence and not their knowledge of writing stories and all that.
Yes, sir.
Are you understanding the point? This is very important not to lose sight of this thing.
Okay.
Because you lose sight of thing, you get very close to the SSB process. And I don't blame you people क्योंकि coaching academy तो यही कराती जा रही हैं.
हाँ जी सर.
क्योंकि उनके 15 दिन के एजेंडा में होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट का कोई किया ही नहीं जा सकता, तो वो वही कराएंगे जो कर सकते हैं. But that approach is faulty. It is not the right approach. It cannot get you selected. Have you now understood this point, Ansh? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But there's
Ah,
another thing that I want to ask.
go
So
ahead.
in my last SSB, there was this picture when where two army men were testing their rifle basically. So they were at the shooting range, and one of them was lying down, and they were and this picture came to me in one FSB Dehradun. So I made a story that was a basically training of the NCC cadets of practicing for a national competition, shooting competition basically. So when I got assessed it with my last assessors, from where I took the coaching, so she mentioned that the story feels preconceived and the perception is wrong. So on the screening part, I wanted to ask, is it's still not good to practice?
Good. You have come with a lot of confusion, and that is very good because that will help clarify the minds of a lot of others. Firstly, let us become very clear कि जो साइकोलॉजिस्ट और जो भी हैं जिन्होंने कोचिंग की कराई, इनका क्या नरेंद्र मोदी के साथ भगवान से कनेक्शन है की तरह?
नहीं सर।
है क्या? उसने तो बोला ना मैं नॉन बायोलॉजिकल हूँ, आसमान से टपका हूँ। तो ये आसमान से टपके हुए हैं क्या,
नहीं
या
सर,
आपकी और हमारी तरह ही है?
हमारी तरह ही है सर।
नहीं आया ना, भगवान से कनेक्शन लेके नहीं आया ना?
नहीं सर।
And
नहीं
sir,
नहीं।
can you make us the co-host? There are people waiting in the room to join the
या
meeting. You make me just a co-host, Colonel Nehru.
ओके, जस्ट अ सेकंड।
ओके, सो नाउ कमिंग टू योर क्वेश्चन, आपको दिखाया गया पिक्चर में that there are two persons which you interpreted, it was apparently a pretty clear picture, ये
यस सर।
शूटिंग रेंज पे वो फायरिंग की प्रैक्टिस वगैरह कर रहे हैं, समथिंग लाइक दैट।
यस सर,
शूटिंग
एंड
क्या करेंगे?
देयर वाज अनदर करेक्टर, मतलब अनदर पर्सन इन यूनिफॉर्म उनके सामने खड़ा था वो।
तो दिस योर इंटरप्रिटेशन कि ये एनसीसी वाले हैं, ये अपनी प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, और प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं तो आपने उसको रिलेट किया किसी कंपटीशन की प्रिपरेशन से, एंड आई प्रिज्यूम यू वुड हैव रिटन दैट वन ऑफ देम वाज द मेन कैरेक्टर, उसने प्रैक्टिस प्रैक्टिस करके he improved his skills and all that, and some he got some accolade or some success he got, ऐसा कुछ
सर
लिखा होगा ना?
सर माई सेंट्रल करेक्टर वो जो सामने खड़ा था वो इंस्ट्रक्टर बनाया था, जो कि उनकी प्रिपरेशंस करा रहा था, उनकी मूवमेंट्स पे और उन सब पे फोकस कर रहा था, सो एक्शंस मेरे उस सेंस में थे।
कुछ एंड रिजल्ट हुआ या बस डिस्क्राइब करके छोड़ दिया कि वो ये कर रहा है?
नहीं, एंड रिजल्ट ये था कि सर उन्होंने कंपटीशन में बहुत अच्छे से पार्टिसिपेट किया और मतलब जीत कर भी आए।
तो बस ठीक है, हॉकी और फुटबॉल के मैच में कोच को मेन कैरेक्टर बना दो, प्लेयर को मेन कैरेक्टर बना दो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? गौतम गंभीर मेन कैरेक्टर है कि रोहित शर्मा है कि जसप्रीत बुमराह है मेन कैरेक्टर? डजंट मेक अ
हाँ जी।
डिफरेंस,
राइट सर।
डजंट मेक अ डिफरेंस ना?
नो सर।
तो द स्टोरी विच यू रोट was relating well to the picture, and it is an absolutely sensible story, there is just no problem in it। तो जिसने बताया उसको छोड़ो यार।
ठीक है सर।
Does it make sense? Is it
यस
rational
सर।
what I'm saying?
यस सर, यस सर, मेड मेक सेंस।
Let's take the views of some others also.
यस सर।
Anybody? Does the story which Ansh made, does it make sense? Is it relating to the picture?
यस सर। यस सर।
Yes, sir.
So it's absolutely fine. There's no issue in it.
ओके सर, गॉट इट।
Do not get concerned by, that is why I'm saying ना, ये इतने कोचिंग वालों से मिसगाइडेंस होती है, तभी तो हमने ये टॉपिक भी लिया कि
यस सर।
maybe these discussions will help you people।
श्योर जी सर।
Yeah, anyone else any other queries on this screening part?
Sir, I have one doubt.
हाँ, go ahead बेटा।
Sir, I see that on a lot of type of PPT, you have mentioned that PVC. Can you please help me to understand what is the full form of PVC and brief explain about that PVC method? I'm new to
This I got your question, Praveen. It is when I joined the selection system in 2010, these were the most popular type of stories being written, particularly by the service entry people. So they would make somebody as a defense aspirant or a serving person or something, and then जैसे अगर क्रिकेटर बनाओ तो उसे वर्ल्ड कप चैंपियन बनाना है, तो फौजी बनाओ तो सबसे बड़ा अचीवमेंट क्या हो सकता है कि परमवीर चक्र जीत लिया उसने।
Sir, sorry. Can you please come in English? I could not understand that.
Okay, fine. The biggest award a defense person can earn in his life is the Paramveer Chakra. Is it so or not?
Yes, sir.
So it was a very popular trend to write stories in which the protagonist won the PVC, Paramveer Chakra.
Okay, sir, got it.
Have you now understood?
Yes, sir.
And there was nothing like winning of Paramveer Chakra or any such thing, even close to army life, defense life shown in the picture. They just made it like this.
Okay, sir, got it.
Understood? Yes. Anyone else? Any other queries?
So my question is, if the narrator we have chosen to narrate the group story does not narrate the story we have come to and narrates his own story, then what are we supposed to do?
Okay. That is the time. Invariably, you see the GTO who is controlling the things there, he will not be asking for any views that time. So it will make sense to stay quiet. But in case GTO asks, then you must say that this is not the consensus story arrived at. This story is of this individual. You should say that. And this logic applies as much to the group planning exercise also, which happens in the GTO series. Is that not in accordance with common sense, Samarth?
Yes, sir, it is.
हाँ वो 10 जनों में एक ने अपना बता दिया, डिस्कशन कुछ और हुआ, कॉमन कुछ और हुआ, उसने अपना बता दिया. You should say that, ना?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have one more doubt.
Go ahead.
Like mostly what happens in GD is that we don't actually arrive at a consensus. So in that situation, how do you narrate a story which is a common story?
You see, a person with decent common sense would be able to discern the common features on which some consensus has been developed and perceive as to what could the common story be. And invariably, the group will nominate such a person who they feel has got the ability and the sense to present the common story. And that is what that person should do. Because if he or she does not do that, then that person is not being loyal enough to the group. And that would be incorrect. That would be an unethical thing to do. Is that so or not?
Yes, sir.
If you and I and Yogita madam and Ansh, we discussed certain things and we arrived at some kind of this thing, we did not write down a consensus, but our chain of thought, you understood, and we said, okay, Samarth, when you meet with some of the students who were not party to the discussion, you please explain to them the views which we had arrived at. We would expect that you would do that only, or what we commonly had thought of.
Yes, sir.
That's how it should be.
Sir, I have a follow-up question to this.
Please go ahead.
So basically, in the Dehradun only, I was chosen to narrate the story, and I knew what majority people were talking about, and this could be the theme, but the group did not make any common story or discuss any common actions. So I just narrated that. So good morning, sir. Most majority of us were talking about this theme, and we have decided to go with this theme, and then GTO just stopped me and went on. So I wanted to ask, is this a good thing to do, or we should just mention that, sir, we were not able to complete the story?
Thing is, this displays diffidence, lack of belief. You see, the group has considered you suitable. देखो अंश,
Yes,
क्या
sir.
है, जब यूएनओ में जाके बातचीत की जाती है, तो क्या इजराइल के फेवर में वोट करना है, पैलेस्टीनियन के फेवर में करना है, क्या होना चाहिए? क्या मोदी ने वोटिंग ली, जयशंकर ने वोटिंग ली पूरे हिंदुस्तान की?
नहीं सर।
पर वो रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है ना हमको,
हाँ जी सर।
तो ग्रुप का रिप्रेजेंटेटिव ऐसा ही हुआ ना।
यस सर।
तो ही इज सपोज टू बी हैविंग द विजडम एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग टू प्रेजेंट अ कंसेंसस व्यू।
यस सर।
You should not stand there and say ना कि अभी हम करेंगे और फिर पता चलेगा हमें। बोला तो गया ही क्यों था, तू घर ही बैठ जाता।
यस सर।
और जब
अंडरस्टूड।
तेरे को नॉमिनेट कर ही दिया, नाउ यू टेक ऑन।
ओके सर।
आर यू रियलाइजिंग दिस पॉइंट?
यस सर। यस सर।
हाँ, आपको करना पड़ेगा। देर मे बी सर्टेन इश्यूज ऑन विच कंसेंसस नॉट अराइव्ड, बट कोहेसिव स्टोरी तो बनाना है ना।
यस सर।
द नीड इज दैट आई कांट बी लेफ्ट इन बिटवीन।
यस सर श्योरली।
तो आपने जो ये प्रियम्बल दिया कि ऐसा हुआ था वैसा हुआ था, पूरा वो नहीं हुआ था, बट somewhat it was like that, that is not required. You just narrate the common story, that's it.
ओके। ओके सर।
Will that display greater sense of confidence?
यस सर इट विल।
That's how it should be done, Ansh.
अंडरस्टूड सर, नोटेड।
Good questions are coming up. Anybody any queries on this?
So
Good
I have a
morning, sir.
question regarding to this.
Yeah, Abhishek, go ahead.
So in this similar situation, if during the discussion, it was a totally fish market kind of situation, and we have understood 4 or 5 major points which the group was discussing, and now group has nominated us for the story. And when we are giving the common narration or the common story, should we use only those 5 or 6 major points which we were able to heard from the group, or we should add our points also to make it a good story? What should we do?
अभिषेक देखो, जिगसॉ पजल के कुछ पीसेस पे कंसेंसस हुआ, कुछ पे नहीं हुआ, ऐसी बात है ना।
Yeah, sir. We can say like that.
तो एक अगर मटका बनाना है, सुराही बनानी है, कोई भी चीज बनानी है, इनकम्प्लीट तो छोड़ी नहीं जा सकती।
Yes, sir.
तो आपको उन जिगसॉ पजल के पीसेस को लेकर जो है पूरी थीम कोहेसिव बनानी है, क्योंकि तभी तो कंप्लीट होगी स्टोरी।
Sure, sir.
इसीलिए तो तुमको नॉमिनेट किया कि वो समझते हैं तुम ये कर सकते हो।
Okay, sir.
आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग?
Yes, yes, sir.
अरे अभिषेक, जो ये आप बोल रहे हैं ना, ऐसी चीजें जिंदगी में आती ही रहती हैं। आई विल टेल यू फ्रॉम माई ओन लाइफ। वी वर कैरिंग आउट, आई वॉज a junior major in 17 mountain division, rather infantry division, not mountain division. And there we were supposed to run an exercise कि चाइनीज प्लान क्या होगा ऑफेंसिव का, और हम डिफेंसिव बैटल कैसे लड़ेंगे। And some discussion was conducted between, there were some brigadiers present, colonels were present. They carried out a discussion. The general was also present there. And then they told one lieutenant colonel and I, कि now that you've heard our discussion, you construct the plan of Chinese offensive. तो हमने बनाया, तो वो तो cohesive plan ही बनाना पड़ेगा ना हमको।
Yeah, right, sir.
And would I have kept ringing up the general साहब कि सर ये तो आपने क्लियर किया नहीं था, ये कहां से आएगा, कितनी आर्टिलरी होगी, कैसे होगी। We have to make a cohesive plan only.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
In most of the times in life, it is going to be like this only.
Yes, sir.
Anybody who's worked for at least 2-3 years in life, practically in the field in life, anybody, just volunteer. Just come up and yeah, acknowledge. कोई नहीं है? Please speak up. I can't see you actually. हाँ श्रेयस,
Sir,
yeah. हाँ श्रेयस,
sir, I
गुड
worked for 5 years.
गुड, वेरी गुड श्रेयस। आप ये बताओ कितनी ही सिचुएशंस ऐसी आई होंगी जब आपके बॉसेस को आपको ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को रिप्रेजेंट करना पड़ा होगा और उन्होंने पूरा क्लियर कट चीजें आपको नहीं बताई हुई होंगी,
यस बहुत बार होता है सर।
and you would have to make some sensible assumptions by yourself.
करेक्ट।
That is how life is. So all your PPTT is once again of a sample of what we actually happens in life.
Absolutely.
Did you get the point, Ansh?
Yes, sir.
Ah,
So, sir, can we say that
that's all.
even if your performance is not good throughout the PPTT part, is that the common narration if you are narrated the best chance for your selection? Can we say that?
Ansh, don't get bothered about these things. When you
Okay.
get bothered about these things कि मेरा इसमें से 10 में से 6 नंबर मिले और OIR के इतने मिले और स्टोरी की क्वालिटी में इतने मिले, नरेशन में इतने मिले, तो तुम्हारा ऐसी खिचड़ी बनेगी कि तुम रिजेक्ट ही स्क्रीन आउट ही हो जाओगे।
Okay, sir.
Don't waste time on things, just do the job well. That's all.
Got it, sir. Right.
तुम किसी से पूछ सकते हो कि हॉकी के फॉरवर्ड से कि तू जब तेरे को सेंटर लाइन में बॉल मिली तो तब से तू जो था 10 मीटर तो बहुत ही अच्छा मूव किया, उसके बाद तू बहुत घटिया मूव किया, फिर तूने खराब पास दिया तब तेरे को 10 में से 4 नंबर मिले। डू यू डू सच थिंग्स? क्या एनालिसिस कोई किया जाता है? तो दैट इज हाउ लाइफ इज। हु कीप्स कैरिंग ऑन सच असेसमेंट जो चीज में तुम पढ़ रहे हो चक्कर में।
ठीक है सर। यस।
वी सी ओवरऑल किसी ये बंदा सेंसिबल लगता है, ठीक ठाक है, तो स्क्रीन
ओके सर।
या